Welcome to the Profitpreneur Power Play podcast, your daily dose of strategies, insights, and action steps to grow your business and build your freedom. It's time to stop playing small and start making power plays.
Hey, folks. All right. So, question. Have you ever looked back at a decision, a detour, or a delay in your life and thought, what was the reason? Or how about feeling like, sometimes you're so deep in the grind that you forget why you started in the first place? Yeah. So, in today's episode, we're going to slow things down and talk about the reason behind it all, your goals, your values, and the bigger vision that keeps you going when things get tough. Okay. We're breaking down why, we're breaking down the why behind things that maybe you didn't even understand at the time and why those moments actually shape who you're becoming. And of course, we have with us today Bree Lewis. She is a mindset and manifestation coach. She's a self-growth enthusiast, and she's the creator of multiple faceless YouTube channels with over 63,000 subscribers and growing. So her topic today, what was the reason? So let's bring her on out. Hey.
Hi.
All right. I'm excited to hear what you're going to lay down for us today.
We just got to see.
Oh boy. All right. I'm out of here. Go ahead and take it away.
Okay. All right, T. So I actually, I had a couple of titles in mind for what I wanted to talk about today. What was the reason? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? All different types of things. But I feel like both of those kind of fit. So I'm gonna get right into it and also try not to take up too much time because I tend to do that. But y'all know I like yapping. I like talking to y'all. Anyway, so a few weeks ago, the last couple of weeks I've been talking about faceless content, and today I'm gonna kind of be going back to what I was talking about before. I was talking about the faceless content. So before I had talked about the difference, why I brought up the difference between a belief and a thought, right? And just to refresh you guys, I had basically said that a belief can be a thought. However, it's one that you trust and you feel more passionately, and a lot of the time will inspire action, right? It will inspire you to do something repeatedly that'll motivate you, that'll push you, right? Whereas a thought, it's more fleeting, right? It comes and goes. We think, what is it? I forgot the number now. We think 100, I think, what is it? 150,000 thoughts a day or something like that. So again, like I said, fleeting. Okay. Now, one thing I personally think, and I try to keep in mind, is the law of life is the law of belief, right? Some people say the law of life is also the law of assumption, which I don't think I've talked about. I will need to talk to you guys about law of assumption some point. But point being, the law of belief that implying that the central things that you think and believe, right, they make the center of your existence. Therefore, in a way, your beliefs are kind of premeditating some of your life and how you go about living it, right? And like I said, also similar law of assumption is you're living by what you assume, right? So for example, let's say you got dressed up this morning, right? But you're not feeling the fit. You're not feeling the outfit. You're like, I don't know, my hair ain't curling right. My shirt feels baggy, right? My teeth ain't sparkling all white like they normally be doing, right? And so when you go out, right, you've already created in your head, the assumption of I look bad. And because I know I look bad, other people also think I look bad. Now, nobody said that. You just assumed it, right? You just assigned that thought, that belief to yourself. So when you go out and someone looks at you, right, and let's say they do one of the little, they give you the little side eye up and down look, your brain's gonna go, see, told you you look bad. Look at this person judging your outfit. You don't look good. Now, again, that person could have been looking at you because they were thinking about trying to hit you up and getting them digits, right? That person could have been looking at you because you looked familiar. You don't know why they were actually looking at you like that. But your brain, like I said, you set that belief, you set that assumption of, this is why. And we don't realize how often, we do that with everything, with a lot of stuff that we like or a lot of goals that we set, right? So when you stop and you ask yourself, okay, pause, before I start getting all upset and making all these assumptions and assigning all this meaning and belief to all of these things that was not originally there, right? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? What is the goal here, right? What do I want to feel, right? What do I want this thing, this person, this happening, this circumstance to bring me? What is it that I want to feel from this thing, right? What do I want to feel? And I emphasize feeling because a lot of the time we don't realize that the things that we want, it's not so much the physical thing, right? For a lot of people, I feel like it's not so much, oh, I want to have money so I can physically have it, but I want money because I want what money is going to bring me, which is what? Comfort. Ain't got to worry about, oh no, the light bill. You ain't have to worry about that because guess what? You have comfort. You have the money. The money gives you comfort, right? For some people, it's freedom because they can travel more, right? So it's little things like that where when we stop and we go, why am I doing this? What do I want? It's the feeling. Now, I will get to obtaining the feelings even without having the physical things in a minute, but I'm trying to stay focused here. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself because I do be doing that. All right. So when you stop and you ask yourself those questions, when you ask yourself, what was the reason? What is the reason? You're breaking that pattern that a lot of us mentally fall into, especially when you're doing something and you're at a plateau or you're getting kind of stagnant. It's very easy because you start zooming in on the present moment, right? You start feeling like, well, it's been weeks and I'm not seeing the result that I want, or, this is taking longer than I thought, whatever the case may be. And so we lose the why, we lose the reason. But even as you're working on trying to obtain or get that thing that it is that you want, you can be feeling the feelings of that thing while you were in the process of building toward that thing. Okay. So another thing I also try to keep in mind is everything that you want is not unattainable, right? Every single human being on this planet has the same cravings, whether we realize it or not, right? We are all very, very similar. And we use a lot of things to kind of find reasons, like I said, to assume, right? We assign beliefs as to why we cannot have those things, right? So we use stuff like, oh, well, you have more work experience than me. I've only been doing this for 2 years. Oh, you're older than me. So, you just older. You just know more. You got more wisdom than me. Oh, well, you're prettier than me. So that's why you're able to do that. Oh, well, you're a woman. So that's why you're able to do it. Oh, well, you're not from the United States. That's why, right? Use all of these random things to also inadvertently, we're kind of dehumanizing each other as well when we do that. Just a side note. But in most cases, if you ask the average person, you ask someone on the street, there's tons of videos on YouTube about this. I've watched quite a few of them, and you guys can find them too. But if you ask someone, well, what do you want out of life? What does life mean to you? What does it mean to live to you, right? I feel like 7 times out of 10, people are going to name something physically intangible, right? Now, some people will name tangible things. And like I said, it's a lot of wanting the feeling that those things will bring. But a lot of the time people say, oh, I want love, right? I want happiness. I want peace. I want to be myself. I want to be authentic, right? And the beauty in that is, at our core as human beings, we are all the same, and we also all share a commonality in how we can achieve those things. And this is where we circle to the subconscious, because y'all already knew I was about to take it there. You already knew I was about to take you there. Okay, a prerequisite for everything that you do in life, right, will always have a warm up, and that warm up is always going to be your mental strength, your subconscious strength. Right now, I'm going to use the example of the gym. Right, I love going to the gym. I love lifting weights. I love feeling like I'm like King Kong, like the Hulk or something. Right now, mind y'all, I'm super small. I'm like 4'11", bro. What am I doing lifting weights? Exactly. What am I doing lifting weights? But a lot of people will say that, the more important warm up, of course, is right before you work out. Right, and they're not wrong. It is your subconscious state. Right before I even get to the gym, I get up and I'm in my bed and I'm like, oh, it's Monday, it's gym day, time to go lift. Right now, why? Just because it's Monday and that's just what I'm supposed to do? Or because of my why? I like what it brings me to work out. I like feeling fit. I like feeling healthy. I like the energy that it gives me to get through all the rest of my day. I like the discipline, right? The why. Now, given not everybody's going to be getting up wanting to get all deep and think about the why, but it's especially important in those moments when you don't feel like doing it, or you're like, is this really what I want to do? Even though you set out, this long plan, right? You sat up here and created this whole vision for everything that you want to do, but now you're questioning it. You zoomed in too much. Now, I know I've said in other calls the importance of being present, but I do feel like with everything in life, there also needs to be a balance, right? You need to have a little bit of both. You need to be able to zoom in, take the telescope, zoom all the way in. Oh, wait, am I thinking about binocular? I think I mean binoculars. Anyway, you take the binocular, right? And you zoom all the way in. But then there's sometimes where you need to pull back and you need to look at the entire blueprint. You need to look at the entire structure of how this thing is going to be and get built, right? It's when you look at the structure first, then you can zoom in with the binocular and focus on all the little details, right? But I notice with a lot of people, especially a lot of clients that I've had, what they will do is they will get so excited. Oh, I want to do this. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, this looks good. And they're running off of excitement fumes, and they're zoomed in with this telescope. And I'm like, okay, well, did you think about this in a larger frame? Like, what is the why? What is this building to? What is the end goal? What is the reason? What is the purpose? But it's because they didn't stop and think. They got so excited. Okay, you can feel the excitement. I'm all for that. Woo, yeah. But let's take some time to unpack the why. What is this thing going to bring you? What is it that you want to extract from having this physical thing that you want implanted in your life today? Because you can start with that today. you can start with the feelings today and then create a plan and then go off of that, right? So in regards to me with the gym, like I was saying, my body, my physical body, right? I'd get up and do my little warm up before I go, but my brain was not warmed up. My subconscious muscle was not warmed up. And because of that, I was going with this belief, this mentality, this mindset of, I guess I'm going to work out, right? And guess what? Do y'all think I got through my sets that day? No, I didn't, because I was not charged up on my why. I was not charged up on my end goal. I think I maybe did half, and I was like, yep, well, time to go. My brother still had a full hour. I was ready to go in 20. Okay. So again, there's a method to everything. There's a way to go about solving a problem, right? And a lot of the time, regardless of what the problem is, to get to that solution, you literally do need to stop and pump the brakes and sit in silence and think, right? And that is very hard to do in a world where it seems like everything is going, right? You see other people accomplishing their goals and getting stuff done, and then you're like, oh, me too. But again, a lot of those people that you see that are, hitting their goals and everything, they sat down and really thought out their why. Now they're just following the blueprint that they laid out first. They did the blueprint first, and now they have like I said earlier, they got the binocular, and they are doing it little bit at a time. They're working on it a little bit at a time. It's almost like building a house. What do? Same thing. You draw out the blueprint first, then you build the foundation, then you start putting the pillars. You don't put the walls up yet. You start putting up the little pillars that are going to hold up the walls. Then you start putting the walls around. I don't need to sit here and explain how to build a house. I don't really know either. If y'all count playing The Sims and building houses on there as building, then I know a little something about building houses. All right. But anyway, this is also why, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but one recurring theme with some of my calls is your brain. We severely underestimate our brain. We do not utilize it to the fullest, right? And I see so many people say, oh, well, the brain is all logical. It's logical. Right. So use your logic to be logical. Use your brain, right? Actually use it. Your brain is a problem solving machine. When you have something that it is that you want to do that you're inspired to do, okay, this is when you take that time, you stop, you pause, and you let your brain get to working, right? Especially your subconscious mind, right? For example, you have to remember, you had to learn how to do certain things, right? It's not just, well, I won't say it's not, for some people maybe, but don't go into it with this mentality of, oh, if I don't see a result immediately, if I don't see a result right away, then I guess this doesn't work. Oh, I guess I'm just going to give up. No, it takes time. When you were a baby, guess what? You didn't just hop up and was like, yeah, and start dancing. No, you didn't even know how to walk. You had to learn. You had to take your first couple of steps, right? You had to have your parents lift you up and hold your little baby hands and get you to move your legs and walk, right? Then eventually you got that little, the little cart-like toy that you pushed around that would help you keep your balance. And then eventually you started walking on your own. Same thing with riding a bike. I know when you got that bike, you were like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. You did not get this bike and think, time to ride, time to bike all the way through the mountain trails. No, you probably knew, okay, I'm going to have to get up and try a couple of times, but end goal, right? Not a why, but your end goal was, I want to be able to ride a bike so I can, travel, or, I can ride my bike with my friends, or, I can go, ride around the neighborhood, whatever the case is, right? You constantly had that why in the back of your head, even when you felt defeated, right? I had times where I was getting frustrated riding my bike, but I kept reminding myself, well, once I can do it, this is going to open so many other doors of fun things I can go do. I can ride my bike with my friends, all of that. But it was me having to remember that why to keep me from quitting, to keep me from giving up. What's the reason for me wanting to continue doing this thing, right? So again, just to emphasize, all of the things that you want to do and you're trying to accomplish, those things are already inside of you, right? The hardest battle is not necessarily doing the thing, physically doing it. The biggest part of the battle is keeping this going. It's keeping the mind going, keeping the mind locked in and entertained, right? It's keeping your mind aligned with the physical. That is the hardest part. And I know I'm emphasizing it, and that makes it seem a little scary, but it really isn't. As long as you keep you keep your why in mind, it's almost like what's a good example? You guys know how everything has an engine, right? Or like for some reason my brain wants to talk about a deep freezer, right? And it has the little engine thing in it. That keeps it pumping, keeps it going. It's kind of like that, it's a part that you don't really see. It's an underestimated part because, with a freezer, right, your emphasis is opening it, closing it, taking stuff out, putting stuff in. But you don't realize how important it is. That small little box, the little engine in it, the power unit that keeps it running, that is the most important part. And it's the same thing, with your body, with your goals, with your mind. Your mind is the most important part. You got to nurture that. You got to nurture it. All right. And I said I was going to touch briefly on feeling the feelings, and then I got to wrap it up because I'm taking a while. You said it's not have to, it's I get to. Yes, exactly. I get to. And you know what? That's something else that I was going to touch on is, gratitude, right? Gratitude. Remembering that, well, I don't want to say humbling yourself, but one thing I try to remember is everything in my life is something I get to be grateful for, even if it's something that I didn't do anything to get, right? For example, my family, I didn't do anything to just have my family just show up, right? I wasn't like, yes, universe, bring me a great mom and a great dad. And I didn't do that. I happened to be born into it, right? But I'm still grateful for it, right? Even the things that I have taken the time out to actually put in effort for and earn, right? I still express gratitude for it. Right? When you constantly put yourself in a state of being thankful for what you have, you are automatically putting yourself in a state to attract the things that you want. Because guess what? I'm going to try to say this in a very simple way. When you are grateful for what you have right now, you are also being grateful for what's going to come. Because what is going to come is eventually also going to become your present moment, right? If I'm grateful today for today, well, whatever happens tomorrow, once I go to bed and wake up, well, guess what? Tomorrow's now going to be today. So I am already pushing forward the gratitude and the thanks for what I want, even though technically, physically, it hasn't come yet. And this is what I'm telling you guys. You can start feeling the feelings for the things that, the feelings that you want to extract from things that you want right now, right? For example, and I'm done. Okay. For example, right? I've had a couple of people that, I coached that wanted romance, right? They wanted, to meet the love of their life, or a husband or a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, right? And I told them, okay, well, start romancing yourself. Start doing that, because you will also uncover your why as well. A lot of the time people want a love or relationship because, again, they want to feel comfort. They want to feel appreciation in their life. They want to feel loved. You can start feeling that now, though. You can start taking yourself out on dates, right? If you're someone that likes going to the movies and you know that you want a partner that also wants to go to the movies, well then, okay, start doing that. Go to the movies. Go to movies you like. Have a fun time. Come home. You like cooking. You want a partner that also likes cooking. Maybe you want to have a couple cooking Tuesdays or something. I don't know, right? You can start feeling that now. You can start feeling that appreciation now. You can start writing notes. about things that you like about yourself or things that you enjoy about your personality, right? Start showing that appreciation, start feeling those feelings that you want that thing to bring you, and that thing will come along. But guess what? You will also mentally, emotionally, you will be prepared to handle when that physical thing comes because you know what it's supposed to feel like. But again, whole point being, you took a breath first, you stopped and paused and said, okay, well, why do I want what I want? And what feelings does this thing bring me? Right? And how can I become a magnet to those things? Right? Um, and then again, continuing to kind of focus on that more and more and more so it becomes a pattern. A lot of the beliefs that you have right now, they probably initially started as something that was fleeting, right? And then you gave it meaning, you gave it more thought, and now you made it a belief. And so now you perform actions, you do things off of that belief that you formed or that assumption that was formed. I know for me, I had a lot of assumptions, especially when I was younger-ish. I mean, I'm still young, but younger-ish. I had a lot of assumptions that I carried with me in certain things that I said, certain things that I did, and it blocked me from a lot of blessings, but it also blocked me from being me. It blocked me from being able to express myself in a way that is just natural and that every person should be able to do and have. Um, but anyway, I think that's it. I think I summed it up. I feel like I was yapping a little bit, but hopefully you guys got the point of taking the time out to breathe and uncover the why.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I absolutely love when you talk about law of assumption for sure, because that definitely had actually helped me out a lot ever since you mentioned it like some years back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really important to start incorporating, into your thought life.
Mm-hmm.
So love it, love it, love it. So yes, we're definitely gonna have you come back and talk some more on this subject, because this is the stuff that people tend to neglect, for lack
Yeah.
of a better word, when it comes to growing their business. They think it's about what's the coolest tactic, what's the hottest thing out there, what's the fastest way for me to make money. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, it's really about sustainability, it's about legacy. And people like to say that a lot, but then when it
Yeah.
comes time to actually put up or shut up,
Yeah.
they shut up. They don't. They oh no, oh, wait. Life is happening. Yes, yes. Business is part of life.
Yeah.
So yes, it's all happening, child. So so yeah, I really love that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close out. How can I put this? Okay, so here's one thing. You may not always get the reason why in that moment, but you will always get the lesson in the end if you start like really becoming more self-aware, right? So inside the Profitpreneur membership, we actually take help you with those lessons that you're learning as you're going through life and business, and start turning those into more strategy, more confidence, and more forward momentum for you, so that your business grows with you and not against you. So go ahead, look in the description and get your 14-day trial. It's only $7, and you're going to absolutely love it. If you don't, you can just cancel. Because once you understand the reason, you start moving a lot more with purpose. Again, thank you guys so much for hanging with us. Make sure that you are right back here tomorrow, same time, same channel. Hi, guys.